Hello world, it is Monday, November 9th. A beautiful sunny day again in Defiance and blue skies. It's supposed to be in the 70s today and tomorrow, but then more November-like weather returns on Wednesday. So if you're not a cooler weather person, try to get out the next couple of days and enjoy the outside. The devotion for today is written by Martha Spong, and it is entitled Early or Late. Martha bases the devotion upon Psalm 63:1 from the King James Version. O God, thou art my God, early will I seek thee. And Martha writes, in my life I've committed myself to many different prayer practices. I've prayed the hours and worked through devotional books and written my own prayers in the margins of my Bible. Early this year, my wife and I shifted to a shared practice, reading a devotional book early in the morning. We settled on the couch in our living room, bringing our coffee. Some days, our dogs joined us. When the pandemic set in and the need to be in certain places at certain times shape-shifted us into everyone working and going to school from home, we let that devotional time stretch out. There were no middle schoolers waiting for the bus outside, no SUVs whipping around the corner where we live and speeding down our street to get their kids to school on time. Our conversations in the still mornings deepened, reflecting on this time in church and looking for God in the midst of such a strange season. Then September came and our schedules changed again. My wife moved back into her office. Our son started a hybrid school year. Nothing is the way it once was. No 2 days in a row are the same. And our reflective time has been disrupted. I wake up most mornings and read the news on my phone. That's a harder place to find God, early or late. Like all seasons of the spiritual life, I've come to a place where something needs to shift, whether my schedule or my practice. There is no one method that is always right. It's the seeking that matters. And Martha's prayer, Holy One, early or late, we seek you. Help us to find you. Amen. Martha's devotion made me think of my own practices, and I tend to be a ritual type person where I get into rhythms and do certain things at certain times of the day. But sometimes prayer can, when things get busy, can take a second, a back seat, I guess, and fall by the wayside. Other times I've found that when I've done things in a repetitious manner that sometimes it gets old and I need to refresh it and do something different. And I think that's the key to her devotion today, is to not stop shifting and trying different ways, because you never want any part of your life, especially your prayer life, to become rote. You also don't want it to be completely ignored and set aside. And there may be times when that happens, when both happen, but there's always time to refresh it and try something new and head in a different direction. Sometimes I think of, I think it was Brother Lawrence, who was one of the desert monks, and talked about making every action of every day a prayer, so that he even talked about washing the dishes and making that a prayer. Even breathing, walking. There's so many different ways that with just a subtle shift in your attention and in your mind can become prayer, can become devotion. So think about it. As I said earlier, the weather's wonderful, it's beautiful, it's warm out. Maybe now's the time to begin trying, going outside and just noticing God's creation and giving thanks to what you see and what you find. No earphones, nothing to distract you. Just go outside and walk around and notice. Take care, and I will talk to you again tomorrow.